Welcome back in, everybody. Eric here with another EWE Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about Mandalorian Chapter 18. Before we get into that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you thought about this review, or let me know what you want me to review next. But let's get on with the episode, guys. So today we're going to be talking about Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 2, Chapter 18, which is titled The Mines of Mandalore. So already from the title, we already know where we're at, so wow, we did not waste any time. This episode released on March 8th, 2023. The cast is Pedro Pascal, Katie Sackhoff, and Amy Sedaris. The runtime is 42 minutes. So I don't, like as usual, guys, I'm going to do spoiler free at the beginning. Then I'm going to switch over to spoilers after I give you guys a warning. Alright, guys. So let's talk a little about this episode. This episode, already we're going to be in Mandalore. So the last episode made it seem, to me at least, that we're going to take a while to get to Mandalore. I thought that maybe that was the season arc, but no, we're actually going there right in episode 2. So Din is trying to reach the living waters below Mandalore. So that's the basic idea of what this episode's about. And let me give you my thoughts spoiler free. So first off, I want to talk about any reviews that you're seeing online of people saying that the episode was too dark. In terms of like lighting was too dark. I didn't have this issue. I actually watched it on my TV this morning and I actually thought it looked fine to me. I could see everything perfectly fine. So I'm not sure what was going on for some people. It did work and other people it didn't. I didn't feel like this was a Game of Thrones situation. Game of Thrones I thought just looked bad. That episode, that battle, it was just too dark. This I felt like you could see, just maybe you had to adjust your settings. I don't know. Alright, but let's talk about some other stuff about this episode that I really enjoyed this episode. The halves were a little bit different. Like I've already mentioned, Katie Sackhoff in this episode. So part of the episode you're with her, and part of the episode you're with Pedro Pascal, the Mando. So it's really cool seeing the two different Mandalorians getting their shine, and seeing Grogu interact with both of them separately. I actually really thought that was pretty cool. Alright guys, so also going with my spoiler-free thoughts, I thought it was really cool to see what happened to Mandalore. The last time we actually saw Mandalore, if I'm not mistaken, was in Star Wars The Clone Wars? Or you might have actually seen it later. You might have actually seen it in Star Wars Rebels. But it's very different than what we saw in this episode. It's been decimated by the Empire. The Empire made an example out of them by destroying everything. But I actually did enjoy how this looked. I thought it was pretty cool, actually, just seeing that Mandalore is no longer what it used to be. And then, because we have Bo-Katan even saying, like, I used to rule this place, and just seeing what it became now, it's like, oh, it was really cool. So, moving on from there, let's see, what other spoiler-free thoughts do I have? Most of my thoughts are actually going to be on the spoiler section, guys. Let me give you the score. We'll go into whether or not I recommend it. So score, I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. I thought this was a great episode. Without going to... Why do I say so much? Just notice I say it a lot. So it's, yeah, great episode, 8 out of 10. I recommend it for sure. It has some stuff that... Good action. I'm liking how they're adding more lore to this. And I'm actually very curious now of where the season's even going. I did not expect... Because last week I was like, oh, okay, we're going to Mandalore, like maybe that's our season arc, and it's like we're already there. So it's like, oh, then I do not know what the season arc for this is even going to be. Maybe the first episode didn't give us as much as we needed. I will say one thing on another thought. I might have to retroactively bring down the score of the last episode down to a 7 instead of an 8, just because something that happened in this episode that I'll explain in the spoiler section really pissed me off. That kind of made me say, why did we even waste our time with that in the first episode? But we'll talk about that right now when we get to the spoiler section. But yeah, other than that, guys, I really enjoyed this. I really think everyone should watch Mandalorian. I think it's a really good show. For a Star Wars fan, I think this is the Boba Fett show we always wanted. Even though I know they gave Book of Boba Fett, I never consider that a real Boba Fett show, just because Boba's so much different than the character I remember from the original trilogy. They worsened him, but Mando actually has the spirit of what that character was meant to be, in my opinion. Except in a good way. That character was a bad guy. This one's a good version of it. Alright, so let me give you guys a warning for going into the spoiler section. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, we're now into the spoiler section of the episode. So let's first talk about things that happen in this episode. So we start off with Pelimato. She's fixing up a speeder in Tatooine. And why do we keep going back to Tatooine? Sorry guys, it's just a little rant of like, every show feels like eventually they need to go Tatooine. I'm kind of over Tatooine. I kind of wish, can we see other planets and things like that? It feels like they just have the sets ready for Tatooine. That's why they keep going back to it. But yeah, Pelimato is fixing up a speeder that apparently her and the Jawas, like, they took the parts off. They made the guy come in and they're gonna fix it, even though they have the parts. It is so messed up, but so damn funny. She's a very funny character to me. We also do some other fun stuff with her when Mando shows up. So this is the part that I'm kind of mad about, that I kind of want to retroactively change last week's to a 7. He comes here and I'm thinking, oh, he's trying to find out if he can get the memory unit for IG-11. And right away, that plan is completely scrapped. And now he's going to use an astromech that she sells her. And it's kind of like, wait, I thought he said he needed a droid he could trust. How is he going to trust this droid? It's brand new. I'm like, that kind of ruins the story from last week, in my opinion. Because now going here, it's like, wait, we completely got rid of that plan. So I'll admit, I did not like that. If I could go back to the old episode, I'd give that now a 7 because that kind of ruined it. Maybe if I wait play out and we do get IG-11 later, that'd be cool. But yeah, I didn't like the way they did that. So now he has an R5 unit and they end up heading towards Mandalore. And they end up landing on Mandalore, and the astromech, its job is just to go ahead of him and make sure that the... what's the word? That the air is breathable, the atmosphere's fine. But at the same time, I'm like, can't he use his suit in space? Like, why does he need that? But I guess it's also because he's got to bathe in the water, so he has to go into the water. So I guess that's the reason for it. But right away, when the R5, like they land, R5 goes ahead of them while they're staying in the ship. The R5 suddenly goes missing. Din ends up getting out of the ship. Grogu stays in there. He goes and he finds the astromech, but then he's attacked by these creatures. He's able to beat them, of course, because, you know, he's a badass. But he does use the Darksaber, and you can tell he's still not used to using it. And I'll come back to that in a second about the Darksaber. But he does get R5. The air is breathable. Grogu goes with them. They leave R5 at the ship, and they go down to the lower in the mines. And as they're going lower into the mines, there's good conversation between Mando talking to Grogu about stuff. And you really definitely see, like, Pedro Pascal is just a great father figure. He has Grogu and he has Ellie, so it's so much fun. But then when he gets to a certain area, he finds a Mandalorian helmet, and then it's a trap, and he gets captured by this creature. And Grogu's trying to find a way to help him, but he can't really do much. Mando tells him to go find Bo-Katan, so he gets out, and he has this cool thing where those creatures show up again, and he just pushes one away with the Force push. It's really cool. I wish we got more of that. Actually, I forgot to mention earlier in the episode, he does a Force jump, and I was just like, oh, cool, so he can still use his Force powers. Like, he's better with them after his training with Luke. So Grogu is able to escape. So then Grogu goes to the ship, and the ship with R5, they end up going to Bo-Katan's planet, and they ask for her help. And luckily, she says, yeah, she's going to help them out, because get get Mando back. So they end up coming back, and just this dynamic between Bo and Grogu, I thought was actually really cool. We haven't really seen Grogu interact with many other people. We saw him interact with Luke for a little bit, but usually when he does interact with people, Mando's around. So it's cool to get him solo with someone else. And like I said, we saw him with Luke, but that wasn't even in The Mandalorian. That was in Book of Boba Fett. Alright, so then Grogu has to go with Bo-Katan to go find Mando because she needs his directions of, hey, where were you guys? And they do end up going down there. They end up getting attacked by those same type of creatures. And Bo just beats the crap out of them. And it's really cool how she does it, because it's just like, she's like, oh, you thought your dad was the only Mandalorian? Like, oh, damn, that's really cool. I really enjoyed it, guys. It was a lot of fun. Katie Sackhoff, she was made for this role. So she does end up finding where Mando's at, but she gets attacked by that same creature that tried to capture him. It's like a cyborg-looking thing. She tries fighting him, and then she ends up grabbing the Darksaber. And what's cool is you see her using the Darksaber, and she's using it like a Jedi would. So maybe he should train with her to learn how to use the Darksaber. Maybe she becomes his general. I don't know. It's really interesting to see their dynamic. So she does end up rescuing him, and she knows the way to the living water. She even tells him, like, I don't know why you care so much about this. This isn't anything really that matters, just water. She even said like it was usually the way she basically said it's like we use this to make the common folk care or whatever. So they end up getting to the living waters, and Mando tries to go in, but he takes off all his important gear, and he takes one step too far in the water, and he drops down. Bo just goes right after him, and it's really cool. She just jumps without even caring. On the way up, they end up seeing a mythosaur, and it's just like, holy crap! There's one inside the water, and the mythosaur is the creature. If you ever seen like Boba Fett, that skull that they have, it's one of those creatures. We've never seen one, I think, live action or even animated for Star Wars. So it's really cool that now we see one in the episode. I'm wondering if they're going to do something with that. That the person that brings it down is the leader of Mandalore. I don't know, but yeah, that's how the episode ends. She gets him out of the water. They saw the mythosaur. I'm not sure what next week's going to hold, honestly. All I know is right now is like they better do something with IG-11, or else I'm gonna be pissed off that we spent so much time with it. But yeah, guys, I thought this was a great episode. Could have had a little bit more, yes, but I was still fine with what we had. I'm still a little bit mad about what if IG-11 doesn't get used, because it's like, then why did we waste so much time last week? Why did we make new enemies over there? And the fact that we even see those enemies here, I'm like, okay, they have to come back. But yeah, since Mandalorian is only 8 episodes long per season, I kind of hope like they speed things up, because right now it's a little bit slow. I want stuff to happen. Alright guys, well that's all I have for this episode. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you want me to review next. Next review I should have will be probably Creed 3 or South Park episode 4 for season 26. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about everything, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.